Hello everybody, welcome. I thought I'd go live today because we've got a full moon in Sagittarius along with Jupiter together. So we've got a lot of Sagittarian energy in the heavens. And Sagittarius, my phrase I used on Instagram today, and you can find me almost daily on Instagram. I'm nervous of saying daily because you never know with connections and things whether you can get on the internet, but provided I can get on the internet, I am posting daily about the various aspects on Instagram at BarbaraGold111. So I hope for those of you who've not joined me, you will join me for the 1 minute Astro Bites. I'm talking to you today about this energy of the full moon. So full moon, my little phrase on Instagram is escape the ordinary. You're probably going to find, maybe even by default, that things won't be ordinary today, they will be extraordinary. So for example, here in Athens, it's been gorgeous weather for the last several days, and I just went briefly out to the shops to get a few bits and bobs, and the heavens suddenly opened and it was torrential rain. So I sheltered under a tree for a while, but I could really see that it wasn't going away, and I could feel like, I've got this energy of the full moon. Jupiter, along with the full moon in Sag, brings things to an extreme. It's always magnifies things. And so within 10 minutes, the pavements were just full with water, and it was coming past at a great velocity. And I didn't know how I was going to get across the road. And then I thought, you know what? You're not made of sugar. Just get on with it. So up to calf height was the water. And I waded through in my shoes. And I thought, yeah, this is just this kind of extreme unexpectedness of this day. Now, as always with full moons, they always bring up, or tend to bring up, emotions. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're experiencing a lot of emotions, and they can be extremes. You might one moment be feeling tearful, a little sad, a little nostalgic, and the next moment feeling exuberant and like you want to sing. And sometimes, or often coming up in full moon energy, I'll cover that question, Linda. Thank you for that question. Try and remind me, but you're saying to me that the Bible says that we should not know astrology and follow astrology. And I feel that's quite pertinent, your question today, because Sagittarius rules religion, faith, hope. Where are you putting your hope, your faith? Are you putting it in a place where it belongs? Or are you putting it in an illusory place where you're going to get disappointed and hurt? So to go into this thing around the Bible, and yes, of course, there's quite a lot of controversy as to what is meant in the Bible. the thing is this, is not to run your life according to the predictions of somebody else. This is how I read it, okay? It's my personal take, is that no one person, a human being, can predict how your life is going to turn out. I don't believe that that is possible. I haven't seen that. Somebody may be able to predict an odd event here or there quite accurately, but they may equally get just as many wrong. So there are those who believe that Jesus was guided by the stars. It's very hard to negate that we might not be affected by the astrology and the stars. We're certainly affected by the moon, the full moon today. The energy is full, there's a fullness. And often, as I said, emotional issues can come up. How long does the effect last? That's a great question. Thank you, Fatima. Depending on what it's activating in your chart, it can last anywhere between a day or maybe up to a week or so. It really depends. So the moon is not an energy that stays around for years and years like Pluto and Neptune and the slower moving planets, but it's more rapid movement. But emotional things may come up, and it may mean that you might have to speak out about something. Somebody may ask you something, and for me, a dear friend actually asked me whether I would move in with her sometime next month when she's planning to have some hip surgery. And of course, instantly my heart immediately is always to say, oh yes, yes, of course I'll do that. And I slept on it. No, I had to think about it, and I said, no, let me just think about it. And then I realized, as I was talking to another friend, hey, you know, this is not my strong suit. I'm not that physically strong. And if she needed carrying, or if she needed taking to the toilet in the night or something, I might not be able to care for her in that way. So today on the full moon, I had to have that conversation with her. You know, I explained to her, I said, look, you know, I want to be of help, but I want to be of help using my strengths and not something where I'm not strong. And I proceeded to tell her that I'm good at cooking, well, reasonably, and I like it anyway, and I like going shopping, and I like driving, and I like organising. And so I said to her, you know, I'm happy to come and make meals and shop for you and be a bit of nice company to you and play the piano, because she's got a lovely grand piano. But to just express that honestly and truthfully. So maybe there's something you need to express honestly and truthfully. And sometimes not easy to do, because you want to say yes to somebody. You want to please them. But this energy of the full moon in Sag is really about speaking the truth. What is the truth of the matter? And Sagittarius always looks. That's a great thing, Stephanie, thank you. Why give us these gifts if we're not supposed to know of the stars and the star energy? That's a great question, thank you. So yeah, so I realized it wasn't about letting this friend down, but it was about sharing with her what I felt I could do, rather than just saying yes without thinking it through, and then ending up in, she lives somewhere very isolated. I could just see the pair of us in the middle of the night, me trying to pick her up off the floor. You see, so there's always a way of saying something to somebody, I believe, in a gentle way. There is a gentle way through. At least I always try to find it. Sagittarius energy tends to be a little blunt and direct. You might find yourself being very direct, but okay. It's important to say it and to share it and to share the emotions, whatever they are. Don't be afraid to share your emotions. As children, we're so free, aren't we? That's why we love, well, I love little babies and really little ones, because they're so innocent, they're so free. You know, they fall down, they have a cry, they're all right. Yeah, they're distracted by this and that and the other. And it's so, there's a freedom in that. And this energy of Sagittarius is about being free with that child inside of you and exploring. Sagittarius wants to explore new horizons, wants to see the world from a different perspective. Yeah? How can I see this from another view? I think it's wonderful that we've got so much diversity on our planet. Black and white, we're different colours, we're different religions, we're different languages, we're fat, we're thin, we're tall, we're small, we're this, we're that. No two are the same. And I think that that is tremendously it's wonderful, isn't it? The variety and the animals and the birds and the trees, and there's an abundance. Sagittarius wants us to see the abundance of the diversity that we have in this world. And the oneness of a spirit, oneness of spirit, the oneness and the diversity. It's that dichotomy really that we live with. And it is my belief that we can live and create a world where we respect our differences, where we can hear and listen to and revere those differences without feeling threatened by them. And to embrace those differences. Wouldn't it be boring if we were all the damn same? We're bored. But I think that all the religions, since Jupiter's in Sagittarius, until the end of this year, what does faith mean to you? What does religion mean to you? What is meaning in your life? What gives meaning to your life? Deeper meaning. These are all big questions, but they're getting triggered at the moment, I feel, by this Moon-Jupiter conjunction in Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is the joker of the zodiac. It's probably the most cheerful sign. My dear friend with Sag rising, she's always pretty much got a smile on her face. Even whatever's happening, she'll crack a joke about something. So remember to crack a joke or two. And we're moving into, from this Sagittarian energy, which I feel is so important, to try to have, yes, the birdies are singing, to try to have that wider perspective. How wonderful it must be to be able to fly at will without having to go through security and airports and queues and baggage trolleys and all of that. Just to be able to fly at will and to get a different perspective on your world. And that's what this full moon is about. And you can fly mentally. You don't necessarily have to do it physically, though I have to say I'd love to do it physically. And my guess is that we can do it physically if we don't have so much density. As we become less dense, I think we're able to fly. If you look at the bird's body, it's so light, it's just so lightweight. So I think that's the lightness here. So each sign is affected, no matter whether you're a Sag or not. Doesn't matter, because somewhere in your personal chart you will have Sagittarius, which is being activated by this moon energy. Thank you, Fatima. Good question. We've got some eclipses coming up in July. I'm certainly doing videos about those. I'll be posting one in the next couple of days. And obviously be posting stuff on Instagram as we lead up to that at Barbara Gold 111. So I hope you'll follow those daily posts, or almost daily posts. So we are going to be moving from this Sag energy, which is the big perspective, the dreams, the visions, what we want to create as a world. And we're moving now into these eclipses, into Cancer and Capricorn. And this is a strong flavor of these next months, in fact the next year or so. Cancer, Capricorn, home, work, inner world, outer world, family and wider family, nurturing and boundaries and discipline, softness and harshness, liquids and solids. It's powerful stuff, but more about that in other videos. Today we're sticking to the Sagittarian theme. And this has everything to do with travel. When you travel, you widen your horizons. That's why Sagittarius rules travel. Just broadens you, widens you out. When you travel, you've got different smells, different sights, different sounds. You have to adapt to different noises, different ways that people are. Took a while to get used to the energy of the Greek people. Sometimes I think they're arguing, but they're not. They're just how they talk. They talk loud. In England, they're much quieter. But you go to a post office in Greece, it's loud, super loud. So you can explore lands in your mind, and certainly in your dreams. So, any questions? If you've got a general question, I'll ask, I'll take it. Personal ones, I'm afraid those are not appropriate for a live stream. But my message to you today is escape the mundane. Yes, Saggy people are travelers. So, Khalida, I know you'd like a video about all the signs being affected. I don't have the time for that today because I actually want to go and play table tennis and do something active, which is moon in Sag energy. So I don't want to sit, in honesty, and do more sitting. I'm keen to do some moving. But if you want to find out, go to my website, yourastrologysigns.com, and look under reports, go to free report, enter in your details and look for where Sag is in your chart. So that's another way. It conjuncts the galactic center. Thank you, very good question, ED. Anne Martha Smith, thank you. What this means is, from my perspective, my limited knowledge on this, because I have to say I don't have a great deal of knowledge of what exactly the galactic center is. It does sound good though, doesn't it? It sounds, whoa. What it would mean to me is that we are able to connect with wider portals of energy, with extraterrestrials, with angelic energies, God force, source energy. I think that the portals are just wider open for us to make some really beautiful connections with the more divine beings and the more divine energies. That's my take anyway. Let me know what you feel about it. I'm very much looking forward to your feedback, your comments. Please like the video if you liked it. I would appreciate it. And in the meantime, I shall just say to you, bye for now. Much love.